Hey, Professor.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
All right, all right.
Hey, Professor, I had a question real quick about something.
What you got?
So, in regards to one of my assignments I turned in, I think for one of the chapter 3 programs, you gave me a 0 because it didn't run because of a /n that was in there. And I was wondering about that because on my part on Visual Studio, it still ran with that because I added that like after the fact because I thought it would maybe like clear up the spacing, but it obviously didn't. But it was still running on mine, so I was a little confused about that.
It had two. If I'm thinking about the right program, let me share this.
Yeah, it
If
had
I'm-
two. It had two ends. I'm pretty sure. Is
but
what your comment was.
they wasn't in double quote.
Mm.
Let me see. Let's go. What assignment was that?
Let me see. I'm looking at it. Trying to pull it up. Chapter 3, program 3. Yeah, it was the one you said on. Let me see the comment. Yeah, with the /ns.
Okay.
But that's weird because yeah, like I said, I tried. Yeah, because it only had one of the
What kind of system you did that on?
Visual Studio,
You did it in Visual. Let's see. So,
and
Hollywood.
it's within. I know it's not in its individual quotes, but it's in that quote still for the please enter. Okay.
Yeah, I'll find it. Let's see. Program 3.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's okay. Okay, yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh no. See, like, see what your string, and I'm gonna pull it up. You're still in the CN, okay. Let me pull this up. I know it didn't work for me. We'll see. We'll see if it worked. But it didn't. It look like it's fine. Control AC. So, okay. Okay. Before.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that's the other program that was in there. But what happens is when you do a CN, it's trying to stream in this here, not
Okay.
output it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not trying to output it. So
Okay.
if anything, it should have, but then that still won't work because the double quote saying you're outputting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it should have been either. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it should have been this and then C out.
Okay.
Yeah. And that should have worked.
Okay.
It should have worked. I see that. Oh no, this is the wrong way. Right. So like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right.
no, I totally get what you mean now.
Right. But yours worked.
Yeah, like that's I even had the same problem with it, like I'm hoping I was gonna tell you something about the codes I turned in this week. I didn't have issues with them, but like some of the stuff, everything ran on mine fine until the very end. But then it started doing the same thing because I was working with some other people and like trying to get help, and like they would send mine and then they would get errors on theirs for some of them. So I mean, it could be the fact that I'm using Visual Studio from 2017. I have no idea, but yeah.
Yeah, but even 2017, you still should have gotten this error here, though. You know, because that's it's like
yeah, no, it
you're
totally
trying to you're trying to input. You're trying to input you know, something in the string.
Yeah. Let's see.
And you don't even have the string. See, because like this, it doesn't even know what that's not even a valid variable to input. You see?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get what you mean now, how to see out it and everything, and then like
Right, right, right,
create that.
right,
No, I
right.
get that makes sense 100%. I'm just confused now as to
Right.
why it ran on visual.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't know why it ran. Yeah. But yeah, that was an error though, because and your streams would be the opposite way too.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Sylvester, I got a question.
Yes.
Um, so for the resume bonus that there is to do, what exactly did you want us to take a screenshot of or send you or to show proof
Well,
that it got approved?
right. Normally they would send you an email or something saying that you know, welcome, whatever, whatever. If it's your first time registering. But also if it's not your first time, if you submit your resume, they'll send you an acknowledgement email saying that, hey, you know, we received your resume, we'll go over it, whatever, we'll get back, you know, we'll contact you or whatever. So I wanted you to register with what they call themselves, career services, and send your resume in, you know, do your resume, send it in, and then you know, give me a screenshot of what they respond saying that they've done whatever. But like I say, let's go back to the assignment. Let me see. The bonus. So, am I sharing my screen? Yeah, I think I am. Am I?
It just turned off.
Huh? Am I sharing it?
It just turned off. It like cut off.
Oh, I have it turned off. But I'm saying.
You was sharing it, but it went out.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. Okay. All right.
There it is.
All right. So let's go back to the bonus. I left it. Go back to the bonus. Because I don't think but one or two people did it anyway. Oh, I don't even have my screen on either. Okay. Yeah. All right.
How long is it gonna take us for them to get back to us? And can we also like, because we have to submit, like, hold on, let me jump. I'm jumping too many questions. Can we use a resume that we already created and send it to them for approval kind of deal?
I think I think I told you to go through. I think there's a guide that they have. What I want to call it. They have a like portfolio and whatever guide where you could go through, say what type of profession you're in, and it'll help you to build your resume or whatnot. I think with them, yeah. So let me see if I can find it. I thought I had only about one. Oh, that was it. Yeah. Is this it?
I submitted my resume to them like March 19th and I didn't get it back until a few days ago. So it takes them a while to go through it.
Oh, it does take a while. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it
know.
takes like a long time.
Yeah, I know I posted it a while ago. It says register with career services. That's going through their on their web on their link on from the web page of BRCC. Once registered, use the software provided, you know, by the department to create your resume, because they do have some software that kind of puts you in and ask you questions based upon your career, the career that you're in. Okay. Now I might have to change it if it take that long. And it says there are other features in the software that you can use to build a portfolio for your tenure here at BRCC, like like say if you're doing other assignments, programs, or projects, you know, you can build a portfolio to have all that stuff included. Okay, I advise you to take full advantage of these resources. Now, what they also do is when jobs come about and it's in your particular field, they will forward you those job notifications. Normally, what I'll do, I'll put them in the in here. Let me go back. That's for okay, and then say build your once you have completed your resume and have it approved. So yeah, I said approved. So I tell you what, go ahead online on the career services website and build your resume there. And once you build it, submit the resume and I'll grade it. Okay. So we'll do it that way. Since that's Miss what? Cavalier, she said it takes a while for them to actually get back with you. So do it that way. Go through the career services, build your resume, and once you build it and submit it to them for approval, then also submit it to me or email it, not email it, upload it in Canvas. Now, hopefully it's a .dox file. See, that's a thing. All right. So let me go back to what I was talking about. Is it great? What was your question, Mr. What's his name? You had a question about career services. What was your name, Mr. Let's see if I can find his name. Brandon. I'm Mr. Rayburn or Mr. Brandon. Who was that? Asking questions about the assignment. About whether or not they could turn in one that was already due. I mean, already done. Hello?
I have.
Oh, that was Mr. Oliver. Mr. Oliver.
I was just asking about like the resume we could use because I already have a resume built, so I was wondering about that.
Right, but go ahead on and build it within their register with them and build it within their software, and it'll be there, and they'll be able to shoot you information, notices of jobs. Because if you look here, it wasn't per se, it wasn't jobs per se, but I posted the research opportunities that they had. There was a career and transfer event, I think through LSU. Some intern opportunities, they had some, and then they had other research opportunities, the REUs with LSU. Then they had a job, an entry-level job, lead testing that they had posted. The FBI, well, that was just an article. They had the FBI role in cyber. And then they had a virtual career networking day, which is was a job fair. So, you know what I'm saying? I just posted them. I did it twice here. But I just posted them so that when I get them, I'll post them. But you can also get that information, you know, when if you're registered and your resume is there when they have job opening. And what happens normally, you get let's see, I think this one you got I think I put all the requirements. No, but okay. Yeah, it tells you what all is entailed in the job here. All right. And then what else? The person, contact person. Well, this is hidden from this department, but I think they should have all the information. See, they got 2 positions open. Let me just tell you what you will be doing. All right. And this is the email. Email your resume to this person. And normally they would have a date and whatnot, like an end date or whatever. So just go ahead on and do it. And like I say, it's bonus. It's 50 points bonus. So like I say, it's something outside the class, but it's something that is important and that's beneficial to you. So go ahead on and do that. Any other questions? And I think it's a book at, and a couple of others, Mr. What else that was? Mr. I know I saw his name. Oh, Mr. Rayburn, Mr. Booker. Mr. Booker, you had sent me something to look at. I told you to go on and kind of relook at the reread the instructions on the mileage and the meter conversions.
I did.
Huh?
I did.
Okay, the first part was good. Just that second part. You was calculating something before you even asking the question if the length was of whatever size, then that would determine whether or not you do the meters and the inches. Meters or the mileage. All right.
Uh-huh.
Right. And also I noticed in your program you still didn't do that the header file.
So I put it. Oh, now when I sent it, I hadn't put it in. But I put it in and I submitted it this time. I did.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yep. Anybody with any questions? No question. All right. So we're gonna try to wrap up this chapter here, and I'll probably post a test, and then we'll look at the next chapter. The next chapter, we'll kind of go through it. How would I say it? We'll go through it somewhat, but then the last chapter, I need to get to that chapter 6 and some of 7. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll do 5 and for the 6, because you have to learn how to do the files. Creating files and reading from a data file. I want you to learn how to do that. So if there's not any more, if there's no more questions, we're looking at this chapter. Did we complete this chapter? Did we do chapter 4 test yet? I think we need to finish a couple of things. Oh boy. Okay. My system running out of space. It's taking its time. Come on. All right. So in this chapter 4, all right, we kind of talked about the case statement and whatnot. Now I gave you examples. Now this is just an example of a menu-driven system. This would be the information that would display the menu, right? Where they would display health club on one line, skip 2 lines, then they'll display 1 standard adult membership, then 2 child membership, 3 senior citizen membership, 4 quit the program. But what happened is they created some constant variables for the adult. They said the rate of whatever membership was $40. For child it was $20, and for senior it was $30. And they made adult, senior, child, and senior the constant variables. So if you look down here, they asked you to enter a choice. So it displayed this menu here, and then you would enter a choice. All right. So based on the choice that you entered, 1, 2, 3, or 4, if you entered 1, what happens is it fell into a switch statement, right? So switch choice. So it grabbing the choice to see what the choice is. All right. So it says case adult choice. So if here, these are some constants, adult choice. So if one case adult choice, so if it's one, then we would do all of this information and then we'd break. We'd say for how many months, we put the months of a membership, and then you they know that's an adult, and they'll multiply the months times the amount, and then they would give you a total and would break out. When it breaks out, and it would just end the program, okay? Because what? You did a break. If you wouldn't do a break, then it would ask you how many for the next month. But being that you have the break, it'll break out. So if it was two, then if it was two, then it would do the case for the child. And then child choice, if it's two, which is a child choice, and then it would do the months again and do a month's time the child, and then I'll put whatever your charge is, and then break. All right. And on, even if it was a senior, and even if you chose quit. But then if it was an invalid choice, meaning that anything other than 1, 2, 3, or 4, then you would have gotten this. The invalid choices are 1 through 4. Run the program again and select one of those. So that's how the program would run, and that's how it would use the case statement. So look here, this is the menu that would display. Okay, this person entered the 2, which was child. So then it asks how many months, they input the months, then they multiplied 6 times what it was, 6 times 20. So 6 times 20 gave you the 120, all right? And that was the output. And then the break allowed the program to break. Okay, so that was the case and switch statement, or switch case statement. Now, more about blocks and variables. We talked about the scope of a variable, block and variable scope. We talked about the scope, but we didn't talk much about it. But when we looked at it, we saw that based upon the scope of a variable, it has a certain value in one scope, or it's known by the compiler in one scope and may not be known in another scope. All right. So what they did here, let's see what they introduced it here. See what they did? They introduced where it is. I want to find the value that they introduced. No, but it's still global. Okay, variable definition. Okay, so that's good. That's good. But look at this program. What they did, let's see if this one the same or different. No, see this one different. There's no scope. The scope is here. What? Open curly brace. No. All right. Open curly brace, close curly brace. So the scope of years here is still what? For the main function. But what happened in this particular program, look what they did. They have the main function, but inside this if statement, all right, they had int year. So in the scope of the main, year is not known, right? So if I try to either read in year or somewhere outside of this else, print it out year, I would get an error, all right? So let's look at that. Let's look at that. Let's take this program. So we'll do something like int, say amount equals 250, all right? Or whatever, it doesn't have, no matter what it is. And then we say something like, if I can type amount equal 250. And I'm gonna just write a small program. I'll say if I'll do something Yeah, I'll do something like say if amount is greater than 10. All right. Then I can do something like this. I can say int is equal to I'm just doing something just times 2 and then see out all right. All right. So now, so what happens is we introduce balance inside of the if statement, right? But if I try to do something outside of here with balance, if I said see out shouldn't give me an error. See here, it gave me an error, and this should be in L. It gave me an error because what? I introduced val inside of what? The scope. This is the beginning, and this is the end. So I could even have balance out here. I could say now val. All right, I'll say balance. I'll just keep saying val. Balance. All right. So out here, all right. So now, got balance. So now balance is what? The scope of balance is here, right? But notice what happened. I did int balance and it didn't give me an error. Why? Because this is a scope and this here is a scope. This is two different balances, okay? This is two different balances. All right, you might say, well, why would you say that, Mr. Sylvester? Watch this. I could run this program, let's say, see how balance, and I'll do this. No, I can leave it like that because right here, oh no, balance, I'll say balance equal to 0. Balance equals 0. So balance is equal to 0 in the main scope because I have it declared and initialized in the main scope. But within the main scope, I have another scope within it. And in this scope, balance is equal to amount times 2. So if I output balance here, it should output what? 250 times 2, which is what? 500. When I break out of this scope here and print the balance, now it should print out the balance from this scope, which is what? 0. All right. So if I debug this, see what happens? Same variable, didn't do anything to it. What? I set balance equals 0. This is the scope, the main. But within the main, I have another scope that's defined, that's that if. And I introduce a new variable inside that if state, inside that if block. So now what? Int balance. When I do int, if I would have just say balance is equal to amount times 2, then this balance would have been associated with this balance here. But when I said int, it created a new variable in a new scope. All right. So now what? Amount balance is equal to amount times 2, which is 500. But then I get out of this scope, and the compiler remembers that, wait a minute, in this scope, I have a balance, a variable called balance, and it was assigned to 0. So now I'm going to use its value. So now when I output balance, it output the 0 that's from that scope. Any question? Question? Okay, but everybody see what's happening.
Yeah.
Right, but then now watch this. If I do this, if I take this off, then what my output will be? 500 and 500. You understand? Because the balance is equal is for the entire thing. See, 500 and 500. Because I didn't give it a data type. Remember? So when I say balance, it's gonna say, oh, looking at this balance is 0. So 0 is equal to amount times 2, and then all right, that's 500. But then when I get out of this one, oh, balance, oh, that's the balance. And it's equal to 500, so that's 500. Everybody got that? Questions? All right, so, and if we go back to the notes talk about it. Variable with the same name, we just did that. A variable had the same name, but it was in a block that was nested in another block. So it say when a block is nested inside another block, a variable defined in the inner block may have the same name as the variable defined in the outer block. And like I say, and it could have a different value. You know, most definitely will have a different value. All right. It says as long as the variable in the inner block is visible, however, the variable in the outer block will be hidden. All right. So basically, that's all it's saying. So we have what number here, and then we'll have int number. Same thing we did. But what this number here is local to this if block, and this number here is local to the main. All right, so it's two different values, two different variables. All right, any questions? Anybody with any questions? So what I'll do, and I'll do that now, so it'll be there. I'll post the test and the quizzes. All right. So let's this is 193. Post the quiz. Okay, I'll post the quiz. And this will be May to be the 13th. No, wait, oh, not May, that should be March. This is April. April. And make it due on the 19th. 11:59. April 19th. 11:59. Can't see. Okay, all right. So that module has been published, and then the quiz 4, and I'll also come on. Come on, my social. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna publish that. I'll publish the. Let's see. Publish this one. And what this one is, all right. So we're gonna publish that quiz, and I'll do the and or quiz. I'll take this off. Okay, no code. 2. Take this off. Okay, and I'll do the other quiz, the R and R quiz. And this one. Come on. System running slow. Okay, this is YouTube. YouTube. I did. Okay. All right. So those have been published, and now I need to add the test. I think that's on the quiz. Yeah. And then the test. And I'll also open up that last solo line. Okay. Test the test for. That's 4. Okay. 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 All right. So this is the test. And that was all. Two. All right. So I have all this published. All right. So yeah, so all that's published. So now, so that's straight. So I'm gonna publish that solo line. That'll be for the last section. Okay, the solo line. And make sure with the solo line you submit your name in somewhere. Okay, so that's published. Now, any questions? Anybody with any questions? Okay, so we'll move on to the next chapter. Come on. All right. Oh, that's on that section. No, that's all right. So loops and files. So we're dealing with loops, and we're also dealing with input files. All right. So in this chapter, if you look here, we're gonna deal with the plus plus and the minus minus operators. Okay. Okay. And one of them adds and one of them subtracts. Okay. So what happens with this is how would I say it? The plus increments 1. That's in if you have number on the number 0, I just like saying number is equal to number plus 1. If you got the minus, it's just like saying number is equal to number minus 1. All right. Also, if you look here, both of these, this statement add 1, you know, where you have num plus equal, because the plus equal says, okay, number is equal to number plus and whatever's on this side. It could be an expression or, you know, whatever that sign is. You're taking whatever that expression is and add it to that value that's on that side. This subtracts 1, number minus equal 1. So what is it saying? It's saying like if I write a program, and what I'm gonna do a for loop, don't worry about it, we're gonna go over it. If I do something like say for int x equals 0, x less than 10, x plus plus. Notice we have this plus plus in here. So now I can do cout BRCC, all right? So what happens here? This will go start at 0, and each time through, it's gonna start at 0, it's gonna perform this. When it comes back up, it's gonna increment x by 1, check, well, first of all, x is 0, check to see if 0 greater is less than 10. If it is, it falls in here, prints this. It goes back up, increments by 1. So now x is 1. Then it's x is if 1 less than 10, yes it is, it performed this. Come back up, increment by 1, x becomes 2. All the way through till x becomes 10. 10 is not less than 10, so therefore it exits out and ends the program. So I'll just put something like this, cout all right, so I'll do something like that just to let you see. All right, so now if I run this, this will perform this 10 times because I'm telling it increment from 0 by 1, you know, and when it get to anything greater than 10, stop. So let's debug it. Okay, look what happens. BRCC, 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 BRCC. 10 times, then what? It ends. Now you might say, well, Mr. Sylvester, how do I know that's that 10 times? So, well, what we can do, we can output the value of x. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna output the value of x. Let's run it now. All right. Well, what I did, I put no line there. Let me take this no line off here. Now let's shrink it again, so it won't be so confusing. All right, so debug it. On one line, I need to add it at the end here. All right. I just like to do it to where you can understand it. All right, so let's look at it. So look, when x is 0, we printed BRCC. When x was 1 was less than 10, we printed out BRCC. 2, less than 10, printed out BRCC. 3, less than 10, printed out BRCC. All the way to 9, 9 less than 10, printed out BRCC. When x became 10, it exited out. But it did what? It incremented by 1. It just stepped 1 at a time until it reached the number 10. Okay? So now, so that's what the plus plus did. Now, I can even use the minus minus, but if I use the minus minus here, I'm gonna run into a problem. I'll run into something called an infinite loop, all right? Meaning that it will never reach 10 because I'm starting at 0 and then I'm going down the negative side of the number line. So I'll never reach a positive 10. So watch what happens. See here? So it's just executing, but it's continuously in the same loop, executing the same exact statements over and over and over again. Because what? My value is never reaching to where I wanted to get. So you got to be mindful of that. Now, you're saying, well, so we can't use minus minus? Yes, you can. But what? Your condition have to be set in a way where you can. I could go from 10 to greater than 0. All right. So if x is greater than 0, so as long as x is greater than 0, right? Print, then take 1 away from x, makes it 9. 9 greater than 0, yes, print, take 1 away. So now this one will go from 10 to 1 and kick out at 0. So let's debug this one. Program edit. I gotta change my Mac compare. Okay, greater than. I had less than. 10 is not less than 0, so it didn't even perform it. So let's do it now. So sometimes that's a situation you gotta watch too. Making sure your expression. So look, when x is 10, 10 less than 0, yes, print. Now it decrements, took 1 away. X minus minus. Is 9 less than 0? I mean, greater than 0? Yes. You know, all the way down is 1 greater than 0? Yes. But is 0 greater than 0? No, it exited out. All right. So you see how you can go from high to low or low to high. You know, it's up to you as a programmer, depending on if you're not using a value that's within the program. All right, because you have to pretty much know what type value that you're using. But if you know you're going to perform a particular string, not string, line of code or lines of code X number of times, you can use this for loop and you could put whatever values as long as they're going to go X number of times. You can go from low to high to get there or high to low. Because what? I could go from 45 to 35. You understand? So it's going to go 45 all the way down to 35. And this should give me my 10. All right, 45, 40, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36. 35 is greater. 35 is not greater than 35. So this, I think you're going to do 11 times, but let's see. We did always here. So look here. No, it did it 10. So it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it does not matter what values you use, as long as you know it's going to perform X number of times. Like I said, if I want to perform something 10 times, it didn't matter what this was. Now, it may matter if I tell you to perform a loop 10 times and then taking the numbers 1 to 10, multiplying them by 2 to do the two's timetable. Now you may want to go from 1 to 10 or greater than or less than or equal to 10, and then use the X variable to do what you need, rather than trying to do 45 to 35 going downward and then saying int X equal 1 and then incrementing your 1, whatever, add new variables. So it just depends on how you want to write your code. All right. And like I said, normally you would want less number of variables because it takes up less space and your program will run much faster. All right. So that's the plus, plus, and minus, minus. We're going to get into the for loop a little later. All right, so let's go back here. All right, now, look at this one. If you look at this, you got your plus plus, you got your minus minus. Now you got plus plus, a pre plus plus, and a pre minus minus. Now, does this make a difference? Yes, it does. Now, you say, well, Mr. Vessel, how does it make a difference? It makes a difference when you're working with an expression on the same line. Give an example. If we go back to this program here, right? We said pre and post, right? So if I do something like this, well, I'll take this for loop off. I'll take all this off. I could say something like int x equals 3, y equals 1, z equals 2, right? And I'll just say comma sum equals 0. I'll just do it like that. Now, so I have these 3 variables or 4 variables. And if I say something like sum is equal to plus plus y plus x, what would be my result for sum? Anybody? Anybody? Who could tell me or guess the answer for sum? Hello, is anybody out there? Who could tell me the answer for sum? X is 3, y is 1, z is 2, sum is 0. And we did sum equal plus y plus x. Nobody, all right. Given the fact that this is pre or prior to the variable, we have to do the addition before we actually complete our expression. So sum is equal to plus y. What's plus y? Y is equal to y plus 1. So that's equal to 2. So 2 plus x. 3 is equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. So 4 plus 2, that gives us what? 6. So the answer would be 6. All right. So it's stored 6 in the sum. If we run this, we will see that our answer is 6. See what I'm saying? Sum is 6. But now, check this out. If I were to remove the pre and make them post and say y plus x plus, now who could tell me what the value of x is and what y is? I mean, what the value of sum will be? Anybody? Being that it's post, sum will equal to y, which is what? 1 plus x, which is 3. So 1 plus 3 is going to make this 4. X and y will not change their values until you execute the very next line. So if I output x and y, it's going to output 2 and 4. And we're going to see that sum is equal to 4. So let's run it right now first to see what our answer is. Remember, before it was 6 when it was pre. See, the answer is 4. Why is the answer 4? Because to solve this expression, this is post. meaning that this will not affect X, Y, and X on this line. It will affect it once it leaves this line. So let's do this. Let's do a C out. I'm gonna go 2. And I'll say Y. X. All right, so now, watch this. The same program. Look, now we did the sum of X plus Y, Y plus X plus. So Y is 1, X is 3, so the sum is 4. But look, what is the values of X and Y? Once you leave that line, that expression, the very next line, X becomes X plus 1, and Y becomes Y plus 1, and X becomes X plus 1. So Y was 1, it became 2, and X was 3, and it became 4. So you see what happens? Now let's change this back to pre. Change it back to the pre. And what we're gonna see is 1 pre plus 1 plus 3 pre plus 1. So that's 2 plus 4 gonna give us 6. And then when it moves on, it's gonna be 6. So if we debug it, oh yeah, we got the 6, and Y was 2, and X was 4. And we got our 6. All right. So that's the difference between pre and post. Now, does everything have to be pre or everything have to be post on one line? No. I could do something like this. All right. I could say plus, I'll type, plus Z minus. All right. So all of a sudden, now I could do a minus Z plus, whatever I want. So what this is gonna do, add the 2, and then it's gonna add whatever Z is minus 1. So that'll make it 7, all right? So this will make it, no, this will make it 8, and Z will be minus 1 because this is post, all right? It's post. So that would make this, adding 2 to this would make it 8. So watch. Oh, it's down here. See, so now this is 8 because Z is 2. All right. But really, once we left this line, Z became 1 because we took 1 away. All right. So if we take 1 away here, click on it. We take 1 away here, now it will affect it, and now it would be 6 plus 1 plus a negative, 2 plus 4 plus 1, which will give you 7. All right, and we debug it, and we should get 7. See, so sum is 7. All right, any questions? Anybody with any questions with this pre and post? Questions? Now, and I'm gonna show you I'm gonna take the X. If I do the X twice, if I do plus X plus X, all of a sudden I'm incrementing X here, but I also have to increment X here because they have precedent. So 3 becomes 4, all right? Then 4 becomes 5. So that's 5 and 5 and 1. All right, so we debug it. And I think that's right. Where is it? See, 5 and 5 is 10 plus the 2 give you 12. So I have to do this first before I add here. So I can't just how would I say? I can't add this one and get 3, I mean get 4, and then add this one and get 5. When I add here, this become 4, this become 4. Then I add this one, this become 5, and this become 5. Everything on that line for X gonna change. All right. So you got to remember that if you got multiple of the same variable, all right, it will affect it, all of them. Now, no questions? Any questions? Now, looking at this program, all it did in this program was to take it and said, okay, num plus, it started num at 4. And then it said, I will increment plus, num plus, and then output it. Now, remember, it doesn't matter whether it's in the beginning or the end, because what? They print the value on the next line. You got me? So, see, it doesn't matter, because as soon as you leave this line, it's going to increment. If you did the plus, it would have increment on that line. But see, once you leave that line and the output, you're going to get the same result, whether it's in the beginning or the end. Then plus num, it incremented again. But num minus took it down 1. Minus num took it down back to the original value, and it printed out that. So that's all it's showing you here, and we kind of went over that already. So the difference between the pre and the post, or the postfix and the prefix, the difference is one performs at the execution of that line, and one performs after the execution of that line. All right. So if I do see out num plus and num is 4, I'm going to get 4. But if I do down here, see out num plus and num is 4, I mean, see out plus num and num is 4 is going to output 5. Okay. So let's look at it. So if I'm here and I do something like, I'll take this off. I'll do a see out. I'll leave that on there. I'm gonna just do first and second. I'll just put it first. See out X plus. All right, and that's gonna give me the original value. But then I'm gonna do Y on this one, because this is the program, because now X then changed from 3 to 4. So I'm gonna do Y now, and I'm gonna do X here. I'm hitting the wrong button. All right, and then for Y, I'll see how plus Y. Okay. I'll need X. So now let's run this. I'm gonna take this off. So it's gonna give us the original X, but it's gonna give us 1 plus the Y. So let's debug it. Let me close this out. See, it outputted the original X because it only gonna add 1 to X after it leaves this line and go to the next executable line. It printed out 1 plus Y because what? You have to do the pre. Before I left that line, Y was changed. Okay, and that's why you got the 2. All right. So that's all they're saying in that particular section. So hopefully we kind of got the gist of the increment, the pre and post. All right. So look at this. If you look at this, plus plus have a higher precedence over the multiplication and division and subtraction and whatever. So I would have to what? If it was pre, I would have to increment B first and then multiply. But being that it's post, I multiply, store my value in C, and then when we go to the next line for B, B will change or increment by 1. Okay? So that's all it's saying. Same thing here. I'd have to, but see in this one, it's a pre. So I'd have to increment B by 1, multiplied by the variable A, and then store the value in C. All right. So that's the difference. All right. But now it's showing you what you can't put plus plus on a grouped expression. All right. You can't do that. You have to either have it on any one of the operand. All right. But you can't put it on the entire expression. All right. So now this is saying x is equal to 10 if x plus plus is greater than 10. Okay, which it is, because what? No, it's false. Because x plus plus is 10. 10 is not greater than 10. You only increment what? When you get to the next line. But on this line, x is equal to 10. So therefore, this is false. All right. So it tells us two expressions, two operations are happening. All right, in the if statement. The first value x is tested to determine if it is greater than 10. All right, and 2, x is incremented. All right, so that's what's going on. And because of the increment operator is used in post mode, the comparison happens first. Okay, and 10 is not greater than 10, so that causes it to be false. So it won't print, it will not print that it is greater. All right. Any questions? All right. So now we should understand the pre and the post or whatever. But like I said, let's look at loops. Let's look at the while loop. With a loop, you got to understand you have 3 major components of a loop. The starting point, the initial starting point, the comparison, and the increment or the decrement. Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck in the loop. All right. So the while loop has 2 important parts. I say the 3. You got to start it. We have a starting point. The expression that is tested, all right, for true or false, and the statement or blocks that is repeated as long as the expression is true. All right, but that is true. But still, you have to have a starting point, and you have to have some type of increment, or if it's not an increment, something that's going to be tested. All right. So while and whatever the expression is, okay. And look, you have your while statement, and then you have your expression. The expression could be like x greater than 5, while x is greater than 5, while x is less than 10, whatever it may be. And then you have your body of your while statement, and somewhere in this while statement, and it depends, you may have an increment, but you may not be using numbers. You may be using alphabet. So you might say while, if you're reading in a choice, while choice not equal to, say, Z. So you can put in any character but Z. Once you put in Z, you're kicking out, all right? So while choice is not equal Z, you can do that. So if we look at this small program here, it shows that num is set to 0. That's our initial starting point, okay? Num is set to 0. Now it says, this is your test condition, while number less than 5. So now, as long as number is less than 5, I want to do what's in here. But what must I do? I want to output hello, but I cannot just go back, and because number, I got to make number some kind of way try or attempt to reach 5. So I need to what? Num plus plus. So it doesn't matter if it's plus plus num or num plus plus, because what? The execution of the next line is when it's gonna gonna execute the whether or not it's num incremented. If I increment it on that line, no problem with the plus plus in front, or if I increment at the back, no problem, because what? I have to leave it to go and test to see if the number is less than 5. So that's why it don't really make a difference. All right. Now, all right. So look, you have the while statement, while x is less than 5. You got your body. You want to print out hello and a new line, and then you want to increment. All right. So look here. While number is less than 5, print out hello, new line, increment number. What was number starting point? It was 0. So when number is 0, it printed, incremented. Number becomes 1. 1 is less than 5, printed, incremented. Number becomes 2, less than 5, printed, increment. Number is 3 less than 5, printed, increment. It's 4 less than 5, printed, increment. 5 less than 5, nope, 5 is equal to 5, kick out. Simple as that. So that's how that loop is performed or executed. All right, and the same thing here. This is just the flow chart. This is just the actual code. All right. So the while loop is a pre-test loop. Now it says, okay, the pre-test loop. What does that mean? That means with this while loop, it has to test the condition to see whether or not it's going to perform some statements. That's why they say it's a pre-test loop. It has to test the condition to see if it's true to perform the body of the loop. That's all that means. All right. So, an important characteristic of the while loop is that the loop will never iterate if the test expression is false, all right, to start with. So all that's saying, if number was 6 or greater, or even 5 or greater, it'll never perform this because what? It's a pre-test loop. And if the test does not hold true, it will not perform the body, all right? Now, an infinite loop. Now, you might laugh and say, oh, infinite loops, that's something, I don't get that. I won't get them, or if I get them, they'll be easy or whatever. But sometimes infinite loops are very, again, can give you a mighty large headache. Now, looking at this, going back to the program, all right, an infinite loop. Now, I can, I'm gonna undo. Oh, I don't want to undo. It's slow. I've been typing before that happened. All right, so I can do a loop. Now I'll do the while loop, it x equals 0. And I'll do while x is less than 10. Okay, then I'll do a body, see out. I'm gonna do x. I'll print out the value for x. What else? Yeah, I'll just print out the value for x. All right. And now I need to what? X plus plus to increment to try to reach 10. So if I run this, and I'll print out BRC7. Then I'll put okay. All right, so I'm gonna output this. So debug this. All right, so this shows that x started at 0, ended at 9. 0 through 9 is 10. So it is doing 10 iterations, all right? Now, the thing is though, what if I would have done this? minus, minus. Throw my program way off because what? Once I do this and run it, it's in an infinite loop. You got what I'm saying? Or let's go back. Let's do this. We put plus plus. All right? But then I'll say, while X is greater than 10, let's run it. All of a sudden now we don't get any output because what? The loop is a pretest loop. X is 0, while 0 is greater than 10. Is 0 greater than 10? No, skip that in the program. So you understand? So you have to be mindful of your operators, and you got to be mindful of your increments. All right, your test condition and your increments. All right. Now, it's time, man. It's constantly over. So that's infinite loops. And don't forget your braces if it's a block. Now you normally they do one statement, but with the while statement, you're gonna have some a statement or multiple statements, then you got your increment. So you should have multiple state, more than one state, which means that you have to put it in a body. All right. So that's all that's saying. Programmer style, like I said, all on you where you start, where you end. Cause look, while number is less than 5, see how this what they did, they put everything on one line. They got the condition, all right, but then they put the curly braces to start the body on the same line. Then they put the first statement, semicolon, the second statement, semicolon, and the closed bracket all on one line. So that's one while loop, but it could be confusing and also sometimes could be hard to debug because you got everything on that one line. But that's programmer style. If that's how you choose the right code, or you're working in a company and they don't mind you, hey, I will tell you. All right. Now, so class has ended. We'll start back on next class period using the loops and the while loops. All right. So anybody have any questions? Any questions? If there's no questions, then like I say, we'll pick up on this on next class period. And like I say, hope y'all have a stay dry, stay out this weather, stay safe.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Professor, can I stay real quick with you to just like share my screen and just show you something?
Uh-huh.
All right, cool.
All right. Okay, let me open that option up. Secure share screen. Stop sharing. All right, go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to show you that one I was
And it
talking
did
about.
work?
Yeah, like I wanted to show you. I ran it earlier, and I just wanted to like actually show you. So I kept everything as it is. I opened the file up completely.
Oh, no. That's not the same, though.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait, go. No, this is not the same.
I thought this was the same program. It's chapter 3 program.
No, but I'm saying I don't see the error in it.
It was in CN.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
right. You had this down here.
All right, never mind. I was not worried about it, Professor.
Right, but you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out now why this
I don't know how it happened. Yeah, I don't know how it happened.
Hold on real quick. I want to actually watch. I'll even reopen it again, without even.
No, not that one. Do this for me. Take this.
Yeah.
Take this here. The \n double quote.
Yeah, and right here.
Cut it.
Yeah, all
right. Okay. Now add it to right after test on that line. Yeah. Right here. On the inside of the semicolon. Yeah.
Yep.
Now put it double quote. You didn't double quote.
You didn't have the errors. Yeah.
Double quote. \n. And then and semicolon.
And then
a semicolon at the end. That's what you had.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I'm just trying to figure out now. Okay. All right. I get what you're saying. I don't know. This is really weird. I'm just gonna give
Right.
all right, yeah. This is all right.
And then you might have just, sometimes I know well, with almost any application that you can copy and paste and cut and paste,
yeah.
sometimes you grab like 3 letters or 4 letters and you click the mouse and it picks them up and move them to the beginning of the sentence or the end of the sentence or whatever.
Okay,
maybe that help. I don't know.
All right, yeah, maybe something like that happened because it's
Right.
really, because that was, I'm just not gonna worry. I'm just gonna do the best.
Right. That's how you submitted it. Yeah.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying, Professor. But yeah, like I said, when I opened this one up, it was up here too, which is why I'm even more
right. Because all
confused
you
now.
did up here, if you did up here, please enter whatever and backslash and back, I just put your 2 lines and then you typed in the value. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I got you, Professor.
All right.
All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it
problem.
anyways. All right, see y'all next week.
All right. Anybody else? All right. See y'all next class, man.
See you next week.
All right.
Bye, Professor.
All right. Have a good one.